The original gangster was ICT. I assumed you were hurling gang signs at me when I first saw you, but I later discovered it was simply arthritis. Did you know that Snoop Dogg's now famous song about doing something to the cops and Ice-T's notorious song about doing something to the cops were released in the same year? Ice-T almost lost his career because of his song. In the mix, Snoop Dogg's song established him as a legend. You know, big boy, even though I committed cop killing and other things like that, I never really had as big of an issue with the police as people assume since we were actual criminals. Yes, indeed. The police weren't hated by us. The adversary was the police. Hollywood enjoys destroying success stories even more than it enjoys celebrating them. Ice-T was more than just a rapper in the 1990s. He became the face of one of the most recognizable crime dramas on television, a movie star, and a pioneer of gangster rap. And he demonstrated that hip-hop could succeed on a large screen. Snoop Dogg is now stating something that Hollywood doesn't want you to hear, though, because something changed. And that might help to explain why ICT subtly withdrew from the movie's limelight. Let's make the connection between ICT's departure from Hollywood and Snoop's admonition. Actually, I'm not in LA. I mean, I made it through LA, but I don't return to hang out like you do. Yes. Today, Ice-T conjures up images of Law & Order SVU detective Finn Tutuola. He has been in that position for more than 20 years. It had a devoted following, solid job, and regular compensation. However, most people are unaware that Ice-T was a major player in Hollywood films prior to SVU. He was establishing himself as one of the first rappers to be fully accepted by the mainstream film industry, from his breakthrough performance in New Jack City to roles in cult favorites like Trespass and Ricochet. Then, however, movement slowed. Roles in films dried up. Appearances on the big screen became infrequent. Ice-T also appeared to change his attention. Additionally, it appeared to be a logical change of direction for the career. Snoop Dogg, however, believes that the reality may be considerably more icy. Snoop has described Hollywood as a game where you have to follow their rules and where some individuals choose who gets to remain in the spotlight in a number of interviews over the years. He has cautioned against the artificial love of the industry, which elevates you while you're attractive and abandons you when you don't suit the story. There are other perks that come with working in the Hollywood industry, things that could endanger your future, things that could hurt you, and things that are addicting. And I stick with it since I had some relatives that did other things. I also made other sales. I was aware of its consequences. I will stand tall on my beliefs. That's what I claimed about myself. Snoop has now been accused by some followers of caving into the same machine that he now attacks. However, ICT was never the type to follow the rules. His songs directly challenged authority. His honesty, particularly during the early 90s cop killing issue, made him a target for conservative media, police unions, and politicians, and his lyrics made headlines. Rappers already caused trepidation in Hollywood. T's refusal to back down could have easily made him a permanent outsider, which raises the question of whether he left on his own initiative or if someone quietly escorted him out. Let's begin with political pressure, the first justification. Cop Killer, a song by ICT and his metal band Body Count, was released in 1992. It was unabashedly political, angry, and emotional. However, the reaction was instantaneous. Boycotts were demanded by police unions. Both political parties denounced him, and even the then president voiced his opinion. The controversy was not limited to music. It was a national dialogue. I pull the trigger. Ice-T, a rapper, is having a lot of problems with police officers nationwide. ICT raps about wanting to kill police officers in his song, Cop Killer. I turned on my headlights. I'm going to take a few shots. I'm going to apply some gas. I am a shooter. On my behalf, thank you. Outraged, the New York State Sheriff's Association has requested that Time Warner remove the music from store shelves and called on police nationwide to boycott all Time Warner products. That is not related to the right to free speech. It is entirely related to extraordinary corporate greed and social irresponsibility. I was told by some New York City transit officers that the song makes them feel like victims. It will just encourage greater violence, in my opinion. These folks were going to start acting in that manner when you said things like cop kill or cop brutality. It will only lead to more riots and, I believe, animosity towards police officers. It seems like a dumb verse to me. We already have enough murdering going on in this world, so I really believe they should do something more instructive instead. Pumping. I got my stereo. However, Ice-T took a stronger stand and defended his views on the police, asserting that only racists and violent police officers were criticizing his song. Racist parents, violent cops, and racist foes are the enemies of the Body Count album. And it's okay if those are my adversaries. Did anyone else listen to the music and it's not done intentionally or in an effort to force someone to go out and harm them or do a crime? Police officer murderer. This guy in this character is rapping in the first person, which is known as a poetic license. Clearly, these naive pigs have no musical knowledge, and even though I might have been creating hip-hop headlines that would appeal to movie executives, he was a liability. What I'm trying to say is that they are so vicious that they are making people want to go do that. In addition, there was the problem of typecasting. Ice-T's early filmography was filled with characters that tapped into his gangster rap persona. From Trespass to New Jack City. He initially had an advantage because of lawbreakers, hustlers, and police officers who flout the law. However, those jobs ceased to appear as the years passed. Hollywood doesn't like to pull you out of a box once. They've put you in it, and they have a short memory. Rappers find it challenging to escape street cliches on television, as Snoop himself has noted. Additionally, the offers slow down if you don't comply and allow them to manipulate your reputation. I was acting like Snoop Dogg and all that, and I was a young actor, so to speak. I'm in every time a came is called for. I'm on board. And I won't even mention the names of these bad films. Look, it will be worthwhile. This is a modest camp, I told you. Hey, Cube said when he called me to his house. You need to start saying no. What do you mean by saying no to some of that? I ask. Saying no isn't the answer. They are only utilizing your name to make you look good. But in the end, you will look horrible. The no's can sometimes lead to the yeses. Let's be honest, though. Talent isn't everything in Hollywood. It has to do with relationships, politics, and being part of the power system. ICT was never an insider in the field. He didn't attend the same parties, didn't come from the same circles, and has acknowledged that he doesn't play the game of pretending to be buddies. And it's the quickest way to feel like an outsider in a field that relies heavily on connections. Upon meeting a girl, he places her in a coat, some pumps, and a beach suit, enhances her appearance. An artist is given a budget when they meet with a label. Then they say, I think you can make me money. I decide that you can earn me some cash. It looks like you want to. The typical musician enters a pimp-owning record label and requests to be pimped. Get me out there. I must leave. When an artist arrives, what do they say first? Get me out there. You claim that you would want to go on a track. I will therefore give you money. I'll make you appear attractive. At this point, you go out and sell me a record. She walks a little harder, moves her ass a little harder, and breaks herself as she sees her pimp roll up in the street. However, you dance more vigorously when you are on stage and the label management enters. You are attempting to remove it. You're attempting to impress your pimp. Thus, there is unquestionably a pattern when you combine these elements. This is where things become complicated, though. As the sage OG, Snoop Dogg warned other musicians about the dangers of Hollywood. However, not everyone is on board. Fans are pointing out that Snoop has outperformed nearly everyone in the Hollywood game. The advertisements, the endorsements, and the well-known TV appearances. By accepting offers that most hardcore rappers would have previously referred to as selling out, he has amassed an empire that includes appearances in family films and cookery shows with Martha Stewart. I've been emailing Snoop Dogg, my new best friend. He is an amazing artist and performer who never fails to wow. Pop the kids like it's hot when they act rudely towards you. I adore the schnizzle. Thank you. Thank you. Indeed, a lot of comments on social media refer to Snoop as the last person who ought to be cautioning about the perils of compromise. Snoop's choice to accept payment from Trump and perform at his event is another contentious issue. He even threatened other rappers who supported Trump after criticizing him. To put things in perspective, Snoop was once among Trump's most vocal critics. He appeared at Comedy Central's Donald Trump roast back in 2011. And to be honest, Snoop stole the show despite having a complete lineup of professional comedians. Donald says he wants to go to the White House and run for president. Why not? Pushing the Black family out of their house wouldn't be the first time. Additionally, Snoop practically declared war on Trump when he announced his candidature in 2015, asking his supporters to vote for Hillary and making fun of him whenever he could. When Trump did win, Snoop immediately took to Instagram to share a screenshot of a text message he had exchanged with someone that read, "Wow, it was actually made possible by the US zombies. Whoa, President Trump has never had a position in the government. What a world." Snoop then answered, "Only in America." Snoop didn't stop there either. Additionally, he made a suggestion that Trump is the reason he is considering relocating to Canada. Snoop shared a picture of Drake's hometown of Toronto on social media, writing, "My new home. I need to link up on some property, Drake. This is my nephew. I intend to attend the 6." That was only the warm-up, though. Snoop then went one step further and essentially threatened to roast any Black performer who consented to play at Trump's inauguration. Then, in the music video for his song Lavender, released in March 2017, Snoop turned things up even further by showing him pointing a toy gun at a clown who was costumed as Trump. There was a significant criticism to the video, and not only from Trump fans. Trump himself took to social media to criticize Snoop and even advocate for his imprisonment. Trump wrote, "Can you imagine the outcry if Snoop Dogg, who has a failing career, had pointed a gun at President Obama and fired it? Time in jail." Snoop, however, was not about to give up. In a Billboard interview, he stated that he was attempting to create something authentic rather than contentious. Additionally, he stated that it was only fitting that the video depict the prevalence of clowning in America. However, in the present, Snoop is expressing his support for Trump and claiming that he has done a lot for him. Snoop stunned fans by revealing in an interview with the Sunday Times that he had changed his mind about Trump, saying, "Donald Trump, he ain't done nothing wrong to me. For me, he has only done wonderful things. I adore and admire Donald Trump, unconditionally." He continued after that. Snoop gave a performance at the first Crypto Ball, which was held in January to commemorate Trump's inauguration. Performed during Donald J. Trump's inauguration weekend at the Crypto Ball. A pic was also snapped and posted on Twitter. Rick Ross also gave a performance. "Roz, man," my mother said, "you're playing for victory tonight, dude." Later, shoppers. And insects. What's happening? That's the crypto. You see, the crypto mall had a real try up. Bang bang. Snoop made no posts on Instagram or Twitter regarding the event. He adores Instagram. Today, he has made 15 posts. 15 times today. Nothing regarding last night's occurrence. Additionally, this is the same individual that referred to other rappers who backed Trump as Uncle Toms. There you have it then. Officially, Snoop is now a Trump supporter. He is attempting to instruct Ice-T on how to say no to certain requests in the interim. About Ice, he took a commercial stance about Trump. He also stated unequivocally that he would never support a candidate with a criminal past. What Ice said about Trump was as follows. He doesn't even wear an ankle bracelet, although he has more effing felonies than all of my criminal pals together. It merely demonstrates to us how this nation is managed. It's crazy then. Thus, comparing Ice-T's and Snoop's journeys reveals two entirely distinct strategies for surviving in the entertainment sector. Snoop accepted the limelight, remained noticeable, and continued to change who he was to fit whatever niche kept him at the top. Commercials, TV, music, cookery programs, and even Trump checks. Ice-T, meanwhile, was picky. Even though it meant sacrificing some of that big screen glitz, he avoided certain rooms, avoided Hollywood politics, and created a profession that he could direct from the inside out. It's similar to two OGs encountering the same machine, but acting in different ways. To stay in the game, one had to play it. Before the game could play him, the other took a step back. Tell me your thoughts on Snoop informing Ice-T that he ought to have declined some roles. What do you believe to be the true cause of IT's decline in Hollywood fame? Please leave a comment below and I'll see you in the upcoming video.